Well, in this month's Club Random Classics, we go back to my talk with my dear friend Jimmy Kimmel, who you may have seen in the news recently. It's a freewheeling conversation of trade secrets, celebrity stories, and late-night confessions, from how radio trained our comic timing, riffing on Kraft, the glorious Conan Leno mess, to how Jimmy's wife still dresses him. Enjoy Club Random Classics with Jimmy Kimmel.
Club Random.
Oh, look how sleek you are.
How are you doing?
Oh, that sounded very gay. And I'm touching you.
Yeah, it's all right.
You
touch.
look like, I don't know, that shirt looks like some sort of, you're either like a mastermind who runs the world, a little Dr. Evil-y, or, I don't know, you look...
Can I tell you what I am?
What?
I am a guy whose wife has grown tired of me asking her what I should wear, and she went and got me like 4 casual outfits that I can wear to things that have numbers on them like garanimals. Like a child. That's what I am. I'm a big child.
Is this why guys like marriage? Because there's somebody who does shit for you that you don't want to do?
Well,
Is that the main part of it?
No, I don't think it's that, but I do think, I don't know about you, do you have trouble figuring out like what looks right?
No.
I have a great deal of trouble.
In fact, I'm a very instinctive and decisive shopper. I will go in.
I'm the same way shopping.
Yes. If
But
I say either
on.
it speaks to me or it doesn't. If I'm wondering, then the answer's no. And if I want it, I want it.
I'm good with shopping. I'm not good with putting combinations of things on.
How often do you shop?
Not that much. Very rarely.
I was at the mall about a month ago, maybe 5 weeks ago. I don't know. I mean, fucking A. I had not been, even before the pandemic, I would never really go to a store for years. I'd see pictures of celebrities, coming out of Vons. I'm like, why the fuck are they doing that? I mean, they must have assistants. You're buying toilet paper at 8 in the morning? What, are you nuts? I don't go to stores because I don't have to. So, but I thought, it's fun, they're open again, and I should see what's out there for my own self. I'm too in my bubble with shopping-wise. I mean, it was quite a mind-blowing experience being in the mall.
What'd you do? Did you go to Macy's?
Well, I went to the
Wetzel's
west
Pretzel?
side, the one in Century City.
Yeah.
Part of it is outside.
Yeah.
Interesting, like the people with masks on were the least likely to be felled by the Andromeda strain. It was all the 22-year-olds with masks on outside. It just fucking made me crazy.
Do you ever wear the mask so you can...
I will never wear a mask unless you force me to. I wouldn't even do it anymore, like just if it was walking into my studio, okay, we're playing this game. No, you have to yell at me and then I'll do it.
I wear the mask sometimes just so I can walk around like Michael Jackson with my face covered.
So, you're coming right from your show?
I am.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, no problem.
You're such a good
Happy to
guy,
be here.
Jimmy.
Yeah, sure. I'll have a little of that.
This is from Mike Tyson.
Is it really?
Guests of Club Random with Bill Maher smoke pot given to Bill Maher by other guests of Club Random with Bill Maher.
Provided by Mike Tyson.
Right.
I've smoked with Mike Tyson before.
Who hasn't?
He doesn't kid around.
He loves his... Well, you know what? For you and I mean, pot is whatever it is. I think for him, it really... I got my Eddie Vedder lighter, although these Zippos are terrible. They don't work. But I think for Mike, he really... it makes him a mellow, very different guy. And he's not a guy you want to be unmellow. I mean, of all the guys, you don't want to be,
Yeah, he's medicating himself, but whatever he's doing, it seems to be working.
It's totally working.
Did you see that fight?
On
where he
plane?
fought, who did he fight? Roy Jones Jr., I don't know, about 6 months ago?
No.
Tyson, he had a pay-per-view fight.
Of course.
It was totally fixed.
What happened?
Well, first of all, he looked really good. I mean, it was surprising how good he looked. Roy didn't look so good. He clearly beat Jones, but they obviously made some kind of a deal beforehand where they would declare it a draw. It was not a draw, but it was a draw at the end.
But these two men in their 50s punching each other?
Yeah, and Mike's quite a bit bigger than Roy. I think Mike might be 10 years older, too.
I Hi, how old are you?
I'm 54.
Can you imagine a man punching you? I mean, how fucking ridiculous is that?
Let me tell you something. Today, I did something today in which children threw dodgeballs at me while I was trying to shoot a basketball, and it was an absolute nightmare. I was getting hit with these light rubber balls. I was like, oh my God, this is terrible.
So, I was on your show, when was it, like a month ago or something?
Like 5 weeks, I think.
And I think I was mentioning that is it 20 years since we passed that baton?
It is
so
almost
funny, that sign behind you.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love seeing that. I love that you keep this stuff because it makes me feel okay about keeping my stuff. I have a big man show sign, you know.
Yeah. I mean, how can you throw it out?
That's how I feel. My wife would tell you how to throw it out.
Yeah. I mean, there'll never be a better title. I wish I could use the title.
It's a great title.
Yeah. And it especially was in the day because it was new.
Yeah.
You know, people weren't saying that. They were saying politically correct. I remember we had a lawsuit about that because somebody else wanted to use that. And we said, no, we made that.
I never told you this, but when I was a disc jockey here in LA, there was a guy, a producer, who wanted me to host a show called Athletically Incorrect. Did you ever hear anything about that?
No, but there was a time in the mid-'90s after we were on for a year or so when there was a slew of copycat shows. I remember being very, very worried about it and talking to my producer, Scott Carter. God bless Scott Carter, all those years, such a great guy.
He is a great guy,
producer.
Super smart guy.
Oh, yes, and just a great human. And and I was like, they're going to take the show. And he said, you know, think about the people who have cycled through here that we tried to teach how to do this kind of show and they couldn't get it. He said, they can't rip it off when they're trying to learn it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you're telling them how to rip it off.
Well, we always were doing something that was different than the other shows.
You know,
and they couldn't rip it off.
When we did the Man Show, which you were on.
Yeah, of course, I'm sure.
And I
don't remember it, but
I remember it well. It was some kind of a bit where I married a monkey, and then.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
And then at the end of the bit, I look across. We were wearing tuxedos for some reason. Yes. I look across the room.
Of course, you're a monkey.
And you were there with your own monkey. Like it was a thing. But there was a show called The X Show. Yeah. We made this Man Show pilot, and then it took like a year before it was on the air. And in the meantime, FX, which was a new network, stole the idea. First, they tried to buy the Man Show, and we sold it to Comedy Central. And then they asked me to host this show that they described to me. I was like, this is just like the show I'm doing, except for it was 5 nights a week. And they bought time in our premiere episode of The Man Show. They bought ads from the local cable operator, and we were just so angry. And we were just like, they were like our arch enemy, and it's all we could think of. And it's funny now. It's like it didn't work. It was terrible. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
But it was the biggest thing in our office at that time.
The brand of show business we're in is the most disposable. Like, movies last forever. You know, people still watch fucking It Happened One Night. I mean, it looks like it was made in the Middle Ages, but it was only 1935, and it's on film. And what we do is gone by the next week. It's sour milk, you know. Yeah. It's so disposable.
But for me, I come from radio, which is even lower on that disposable ladder. So
as low as it gets.
I saw even just the fact that somebody is saving the tape of the show, which, you know, in radio, you want the show, you buy cassettes, you bring them in, and you take the show.
They didn't used to save them. I mean,
not at all.
Carson used to complain that there were not, those first few years, there were some were on a kinescope. I never even knew what the fuck that was. They used to talk about it, and it was like, what is a kinescope? I don't know. It was something. I think it was like making a picture of a picture somehow. So they had a few of them like that. But those early Carson years, they don't even have, because nobody thought
they would reuse those tapes.
They would use them for anything.
Yeah.
It's hysterical, the lack of foresight.
It's crazy. Yeah.
And
how much could a tape have cost back then? But that was the same with our radio show. Also, we had a thing where
Were you at 34 when you started? If you're 54?
this show, I was
Your show.
35. Yeah.
35. Yeah, I was about that exact age when I started Politically Incorrect. It's funny, you look back, and I'm sure there are people who like our earlier work better.
Oh, yeah, there are.
But I look back, and I would just fucking cringe. I mean, if you really wanted to torture me, make me watch something.
Same here.
Well, I mean,
hate
I
it.
don't even watch it now, but
Me neither.
but if I did, and occasionally I do to check on something, especially the parts that are written, which I worked on all week, I can watch that and go, oh, okay, I can totally live with that. I didn't stumble over one word. If I stumble over one word, I feel like it's ruined.
It's a bummer, right?
You know, but to ask me to look at something all those years ago, first of all, I would have zero recollection. It would be a total shock. And maybe there'd be parts I'd go like, oh, that guy, that was pretty cute of that guy. But there would be definitely parts where I would go, oh, what a fucking douchebag.
Oh, yeah.
And that would be just exquisite torture.
Yes, it's terrible.
But-
I've had that. I feel like I've had that my whole life with everything. Like, I wanted to be an artist when I was a kid, and you draw something, you think it was good, you show it to your mom or whatever. And then, like 2 years later, you look at it and go, oh, God, I thought this was good. And then you start to question whether what you're doing at that time is good. I guess eventually you probably reach a point where you've peaked, where maybe you'll enjoy looking back because you were better.
No, I don't think I ever would, because I feel like, I mean, what I really want to be is the most sophisticated I can, in the best sense of the word, not a pretentious sense. And I just was less sophisticated at that age. I might have not have been unsophisticated for my age.
Right.
But when you look back from 50s and 60s at 20s and 30s, you're not that sophisticated. You think you are, and you're more than you were when you were a teenager, of course, but you're just not what they, I think, used to call seasoned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't know things.
You don't know
I heard you
things.
on.
There you
I
go.
heard you on one of the earlier podcasts talking about gazpacho and how you,
Yes.
when you learned that it was cold soup, and
That's my book.
that's one of I think that's a
Right.
It's a very salient point. You know,
Yes, everything the gazpacho thing, I'm obsessed with this gazpacho. Because it's funny what sticks in your mind. For some reason, I guess because I was so humiliated at that moment when I was making a thing with the waiter about the gazpacho soup being cold, it must have been seared in my mind. And I do want to write that book, Gazpacho Soup is Cold, because every single thing you know in your life, you did learn at a particular instant. You don't record the instant, but you could.
Can I tell you what I didn't know when I was in my mid to late 20s? I would, I thought fish was healthy, and so I would get fish and chips for lunch almost every day.
Wait, and now you don't because of the mercury and stuff like that?
No, it's a big blob of fried dough over a
Well, you
piece
don't have
of
to fry fish.
Well, no, fish and chips, like the traditional fish and chips.
Oh, but you just said fish. You think
didn't.
all fish is unhealthy?
No, I think grilled fish is great. This
Oh.
was like a fried chicken version of fish.
Right.
And I thought I was eating. I'd have French fries with it. And I was like, I'm eating as healthy as could be.
Right.
I would
Oh,
have
yes.
a bagel every morning and think like, oh, this is good. I'm not putting much butter on it. You know. We don't know we're not taught the important things.
Well, now you're, Jimmy, wading into my deep
your-
end of the
yeah,
pool, because this
yeah.
is the area that makes me ballistic. We could spend the whole rest of this time talking about this subject, but I feel like maybe I have an ally in you. I don't know if I do on all these things.
You
Really?
do. Oh, yeah.
Okay, but let me just address the general first, which is that somehow at 66, even though I understand that my body is not in the shape it must have been internally and in some ways externally that it was, I'm so much smarter about my health than I was in my 20s and 30s, that in some ways I'm actually healthier. And you can look at even in the numbers.
I feel the same way.
Which is amazing, because to your point, I had so many bad ideas, And of course, when you talk about bad ideas about health, that's given the fact that we already, with our best ideas, don't know a lot. So if you have bad ideas based on other bad ideas, that's a lot of bad health. And yes, I was the same way. We all thought that I can't believe it's not butter was what you should eat. And now it is illegal. That is trans fats. Trans fats are illegal, and that is what they told us to eat 15 years ago.
To be healthy.
This is why I am so skeptical about COVID and all the way we handle it, because the bigger question about health, they just don't know that much, and they're wrong a lot. So don't sit there in your fucking white coat and tell me, just do what we say, because when have we ever been wrong? A lot. You've been wrong a fucking lot, including about this. I seem to remember 6 months we were wiping off the packages.
Right.
Lots of things you're wrong about. The vaccine would prevent you from getting it, no, or giving it, no. Okay, you weren't trying to be wrong, but don't be arrogant about how much you're right, because it's not very much.
Do you feel, though, that now, knowing what you know, do you feel like you're in that place that you were at 10 years ago or 20 years ago, where the conventional wisdom is what we accept? We know that grilled fish is good for us. Some are maybe not. Some are worse than others. But
we know
maybe we'll find out it wasn't.
I mean, any fish that lives in the ocean is never going to be 100% good for you, because the ocean is a fucking cesspool. We've turned
there are
it
many
into that.
lakes, and you can have a nice salmon
fresh,
out of a river.
Yeah. I mean, most bodies of water are somewhat polluted. Just because what falls out of the air falls into the bodies of water. Mercury gets into the water no matter where the water is, because it falls from the clouds. And fish eat that, and we get it in the fish. Some fish are worse. Obviously, sushi. There are people who eat a lot of sushi and have mercury poisoning. That's how much fucking mercury there is in the fish. Jeremy Piven had that thing on Broadway, remember?
Allegedly, yeah. Right.
It's you.
I don't know. I think wasn't he trying to get out of that play?
I seem to remember that. Yes,
Yeah,
that's possible.
I remember a lot of scoffing. That's what I remember from that
They would write
time.
a book about it. He blamed it on the fish. The Jeremy Piven story. But certainly it is bad for you. Tuna has tons of it. Swordfish, I used to love to eat. I won't eat that now.
Yeah, swordfish is
any
bad.
deep sea fish is going to be full of mercury, and mercury is super bad for what's inside you. This is another thing about vaccines. I've never been anti-vax, but don't tell me that you know how vaccines will interact with how much mercury I have in my body, or how much electromagnetic energy I get exposed to, how many of the 50,000 chemicals that were never around 100 years ago that we ingest now are in the atmosphere. There's a million different variables that can affect my health. So don't pretend that there are definitive answers about any of this.
But don't you, do you regret having the polio vaccine, the rubella vaccine? Did you get the shingles vaccine?
I would have to go through them case by case, because to me, vaccines are always a case by case. There are some, yes, that I would endorse, and some certainly didn't want the COVID one.
You didn't want to get it?
No, and I did. Because I couldn't have led a life without it, and still couldn't today. But I'm not going to get any more of it.
No, I will for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're different on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Even the idea that mercury is bad for you, how do we know that?
Mercury is bad for you? We do know that.
But how do we know it? Who told us this?
Okay, well, peer-reviewed studies told us this.
Right.
And it's almost commonsensical, but I mean, look, I'm trying to lay out the case that I'm the medical skeptic.
Right.
But if the question is mercury bad for you? I feel like that's on the side of settled science. I'm good with that one. I don't need to look into that one anymore. Mercury in your system, not good.
Do you feel
neither is lead, which we also have in our
no,
body.
I'm not saying they are good. I'm not even questioning it. I'm just why do we decide that certain things
metals in people's body is something that they don't look into enough, and is very often, I've certainly anecdotally heard from people who say, I know one person in particular who was like, she had all these horrible kind of those diseases they call fatigue diseases.
Yeah, Epstein-Barr.
Epstein-Barr, which is a virus many of us have in their bodies. I have it in my body. Lots of, fatigue syndrome, whatever they want to call it. And she said, looked at a million different things, many different doctors, had the mercury drilled out of her teeth, problem went away. Mercury, they used to drill it into, I had it drilled.
Yeah, I had it, yeah.
Did you have it drilled out?
Yes, I had them
Right.
removed.
Well, if you're
the metal fillings.
if you're not sure about that, why'd you do that?
I was a kid. My parents, I had no decision really in it.
They drilled it in and then drilled it out while you were still a kid?
Yeah, they drilled it in when I was a little kid and drilled it out when I was like 13 or something, 14 maybe.
Wow.
Yeah. They said they had to. It was like falling out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's bad for you.
Yeah, I don't know what their reasoning was. Their reasoning may have just been,
It's poison.
We want to
That's
sell you
the
another
reasoning.
filling.
We don't want poison leaking into your body from your teeth.
Yeah, I mean, that could have been it too. But
Yeah.
I tend to think that I tend to think that they're just like dentists trying to make another $60.
Not in this case.
Yeah. Well, no.
If you leave here thinking one thing about Club Random, I hope it will be mercury bad. Mercury bad. Don't get mercury in my body if I can help it.
I was going to ask you why it was Club Random, but I think I understand. I don't think I need any explanation.
It's interesting, you and I. We have so many things in common and so many things uncommon.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you're a guy who loves to be married,
Yeah.
and I'm a guy who obviously doesn't.
Right. I mean,
And you even, is your wife still the head writer?
she's the head writer.
That's
executive
unbelievable.
producer of the show.
Talk about someone who you can trust, huh?
Yeah.
Because that's a real trust job.
Totally.
If you, that's,
And also who
like
just
chief of-
knows you.
it's like chief of staff if you're president.
Yeah.
Right.
Who knows what you would want and
Right.
not want.
Right.
Even more importantly.
So it's not just the shirts that she does.
Yeah, it's not just the shirts.
It's the show,
full service.
and the shirts. That is a hell of a wife you got there.
Yeah. No, she's good. Sometimes if I think of something funny in the middle of the night, I'll make a lot of noise so that it wakes her up, and then I'll act like I did it unintentionally, and then I'll tell her the funny thing that I thought of. And she courtesy laughs, but I don't think she's...
But then she puts it in a bit.
Oh, no, it's usually ridiculous.
You have some, I must say, you do have some classic bits. The tweets bit.
That was her idea, my wife's idea.
Really?
Yeah.
That is I mean, not
It's a good bit,
every
yeah.
bit is a classic. That's a classic.
Yeah.
And the other one, the, bleeping.
Yeah, the unnecessary censorship. Yeah, that's something I started doing on the radio.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Goes that far back?
Yeah, it's just it was funny to
So funny.
put bleeps where we had to cut the
it's a
tape
scream.
where they don't belong.
It's,
I always got a kick out
that's
of it.
another gold. It's those things, those like recurring.
Oh, what a
with us,
life raft that
new
is.
rules, obviously,
Yeah.
and some of
When
the.
you figure that out.
I don't know if it's true. I don't know it for a fact. I just know it's true. And our 24 things. I love those refillables because we're old school fans of the old. We grew up on. I mean, I know you adore Letterman.
Yeah.
Right. He's your big hero, right?
Yeah, Letterman, Howard.
Howard, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's still your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Now, how did you wind up Howard's ass, but you couldn't get up Dave's? That's my question for you, Jimmy Kimmel. I'm sure you tried.
No, I feel like Howard, no matter what he says, seeks human interaction. And I don't know that, at least with me, I don't know that Dave would be interested in that. And I would never want to bother him. But Howard and I have a lot in common. We started he's still a radio guy. I was a radio guy. I got into it because of him, really. And my uncle would send me tapes of the show on WNBC. He'd make a cassette tape. He'd send me one once every 2 months, and I would listen to them over and over again. I feasted on them.
Right. And this is the difference between your age, which is about a decade before mine, and mine, because like you're Howard Letterman, whereas I'm Carson Jack Benny.
Right.
No, not Jack Benny.
No, Jack Benny. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who the other would be. But it was probably somebody on the radio. You know, I did listen to like the disc jockeys on WABC, Dan Ingram in the afternoon, Cousin Brucey. I didn't want to be him. Dan Ingram was very, very sophisticated, but definitely Johnny Carson. And, you know, we wanted to be that guy. I think that guy to us was, I mean, we were never going to be like the athlete of the school, you know.
Right.
That's not what we're going to be. We weren't going to be the leading man in the drama club, but we could be that guy, you know. That was our version of James
Well, I remember
Bond.
when college kids I would talk to started talking about Conan in the same way that I spoke about Letterman, because it's whatever the first one you're exposed to is the one that means the most.
Right.
Like Johnny,
Right.
for you it was Johnny, and then everybody else after Johnny is like,
When there was that Conan Leno kerfuffle,
right.
ugliness, not since the war between the states, really, or maybe it was the rap feuds between East and West Coast. I don't remember, but not since something. Was there something that was that contentious? I remember at the time, this is so funny, it was like 2009, I think.
Yeah, it sounds right.
Okay, so my girlfriend at the time was 25, and I remember, you know, it was a very important thing in our world.
Yeah.
And I was explaining to her, I said, well, you know, it's a generational thing. Leno is 59 and Conan's like 46. And she went, yeah, that's the same thing to me. And I actually felt better because I was like, oh, you know what? That's good, because that means I'm in the same boat with everybody over 40, you know? And and that category is, you know.
You're out of range.
Right, fuller, but I don't know. I mean, were you a team? Were you Team J or Team?
Oh, definitely not Team J.
No?
No, I was like,
Oh, yeah, you have a feud with him.
I was kind of in the
You
middle
have a
of
feud
that
with
whole
Jay
thing.
Leno.
Not anymore. I did though at one
About
time.
what? He's such a nice guy.
I know you always say that, and I go,
What am I not seeing? You know, there's this evil Jay that I don't see. Really? I mean, is that really what you think? Tell me what you really think. You think I am blind to a Machiavellian side of Jay Leno?
maybe. I don't.
Okay, you can say that.
I mean, unless you're like joking.
I'm not joking.
He's quite clearly a cunning individual. Let's just say. I mean,
Because
come on.
he hid in the closet that time?
He who hides in the closet and listens in.
But on his own
Who's ever done that?
Okay, but he did it.
It's like a soap opera.
Wait a second. He did it on his own behalf. He didn't do it to rat fuck someone else.
He did it rat fuck Dave. What do you mean?
To rat fuck Dave?
Letterman. I mean,
How did that rat fuck Letterman?
Well, it was part of his campaign. I mean, you know, like, go through the whole thing, but basically that was part of him gauging what NBC was planning to do. I don't recall exactly what that conversation was. Do you? But I think it may have been
But
about.
they were vying for this They were vying for this one coveted spot. The host of the Tonight Show. It was the holy grail of comedians that it would be passed on.
Right.
So obviously, it's the Super Bowl trophy. They both want it, and I don't know. I find something wrong about the hatred of the people who, oh, you just went for it and got it and won. And then, by the way, he was like number one. They fired him twice for the sin of being number one in his time slot. I mean, it's not like
I don't know if that's why they fired him, but yeah.
Well, they fired him because they thought, well, we better look out. Why? Because he was such a hard guy to work with?
No, I just think they saw Fallon surging, and they saw that as the immediate future. I mean, there was a time where the ratings between those shows were getting close, which is very unusual.
It speaks to the need in this business. Kids, if you're watching and you want to get in the business, you need someone talking for you, an agent, a manager, somebody, because Jay Leno had no one speaking for him. He was his own representative. Whereas I think it was Ari Emanuel, one of the great talkers of all time and great people, I love him. I think he was in the ear of the NBC exec saying, you need to think about the future. yeah, sure, Jay is number one now, but you know what? What about the future? Let's get ahead of this. And so they fired him for being number one twice, and the successors did not do as well. I'm just saying these are the raw facts.
I think it's more complicated than that.
Well, tell me what it.
Okay.
Well, tell me the complicated part.
Well, there's a couple of things. I mean, first of all, Conan wanted the 11:30 spot, and he went to NBC and said, "I want the 11:30 spot. If I don't get the 11:30 spot, I'm going to become a free agent, and other networks are going to offer me the 11:30 spot." Which was happening, by the way,
sure.
Something that was happening.
Right.
And NBC said, "Listen, we want to keep Jay on. We want you to be the 11:30 host. What we'll do is we'll make a deal. In 5 years, we'll give you the Tonight Show." And Conan now has to make a decision: should I go to ABC at 11:30, or stay here and wait and be a good soldier and take the Tonight Show at the end of it? Yeah, ABC.
You.
I know. But at the time, they were talking to him, and Fox as well.
To replace you with him?
Yeah, to push me back or whatever, move the show a little. I was on at midnight at that time. And Conan then had to make a decision, do I go to another network or do I stay here and wait? And he said, okay, I'll stay and wait. And then when he put in his 5 years, they broke the deal.
Oh, so he did stay 5 years.
He did stay 5 years. And then Jay, who knows a lot about television, a lot about TV ratings, maybe more than anyone I've ever met,
I'll bet,
was offered the 10 p.m. slot. Now, they don't have to violate Conan's contract. Jay knew that lead-in is hugely important and that NBC had dramas that were fairly successful in those slots, and they were bringing a pretty big audience to the Tonight Show. He knew that doing his show would have maybe half those ratings, turned out to be like a third. And even if that show failed, it would make the Tonight Show's ratings drop. And that's what happened. Conan had a bad lead-in from Jay.
But should Jay have not taken the 10 p.m. spot because of that? Why is Jay always looking out for Conan's interests?
No, I'm not saying he's looking out for Conan's interests. I'm just saying it's somewhat diabolical, don't you think?
Diabolical?
I mean, I would never do anything like that.
Why? So he should not have taken the 10 p.m. slot? He should not have kept working in the air in the job they offered him? He should say, no, because of Conan's career, I'm not going to work at 10 p.m. I don't get that.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I think from the beginning his plan was to retake the Tonight Show, to see the ratings go down.
You just don't like this guy. I don't know what he did to you.
Well,
what did he do? Did he touch you, Jimmy?
No, he did. He did do a weird thing.
Show me where he touched you.
But I don't want to make this all about, because I'm fine with him now. We've spoken.
Okay,
it's fine. But just for the whatever, just the
facts. I hate it when two people I love don't like each other, because I feel like I did something. No.
It wasn't your fault at all.
Was it?
It's just when NBC was going to turn the show over to Conan, Jay was talking to ABC about coming on at 11:30. And Jay needed to get Bob Iger, they needed to get my permission in contractually, because I was contracted to be on at midnight, not 12:30. So they wanted to get my permission first. Oh. And so at that time, Jay called me a lot, and we spoke about all sorts of things, and I felt like we were having a friendly relationship. And then the day NBC decided, no, we're keeping Jay, never heard from him again. And I didn't even find out from him that he was staying. He wanted me to move. He wanted to be on 11:30, and I would move to 12:30. And I finally said, okay, yeah, I think I would do that. I'd be on at 12:30 after you, because I was on at midnight at the time. And I felt he'd be a better lead in the Nightline. You know that.
Wait, Jay was going to move to ABC?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Either I forgot that or...
No, I don't think most people even know that. But I know it because I was asked to move to 12:30. Yeah. So I don't know. I sometimes feel like maybe...
Well,
I got a lot of friends. I don't need to like...
I understand.
You know what I mean?
But I hope someday as we all walk down the path of life,
Well, this isn't going to make it better.
that I get to somehow do a Jerry Lewis.
Let me tell you a good Jay Leno story. I met him when I was a teenager out front of the Improv, I think, and he couldn't have possibly have been nicer to us. I mean, he was super nice and chatty, and So,
Yeah,
I'm not indicating he's, whatever. I just think there's some weird things there.
Well, he is a weird mix of, I think, a very moral guy, but he's definitely Italian. He has cunning, yes. Jay is smart about the business. I mean, he is ruthlessly smart. But I just didn't think it was at the detriment of others, except if you're going after the same job, yeah, I don't find it off-putting that he was in the closet.
Yeah, from my point of view, I got to know who he was from his appearances on Letterman. And I thought he was cool because Dave put him on and they seemed to be friendly and he would give Dave shit. And he was always so funny.
Oh, so funny. Those were great.
And then it seemed weird that then after Dave kind of opened that door for him, that he'd be squeezing his way through the other one.
Well, Dave opened that door for him. I mean, he was obviously, I remember those appearances too. He was obviously a big talent. Chris Rock for years would always say, oh, thank you, because back in 1996, we put him on, it was the 96 election. He was our correspondent because he was at a kind of a down moment in his career. In New Hampshire. It was funny. I can't find hair products up here, It gave him a little boost. People saw him, and it, helped the next step. But I always said to him, Chris, I didn't do anything. You're a giant talent. It would have happened anyway. I'm glad that we were able to work together at a moment that was beneficial for us both. But it would have happened some other way. You're Chris Rock, and I
but
kind
the
of feel
difference
this.
is that's how Chris feels, right? It's not about how you feel; it's how Chris feels. And Jay is Chris in this situation. And this Chris is not so grateful.
Interesting the way you threw that trump card down on me. I must say, I'm a little taken aback. But, okay, well, someday I'm going to do a Frank Sinatra to your Dean and Jerry. Not that you were ever Dean and Jerry. But it's because, there's so few people who can understand what you and me and Jay, and there's a little club of people who know what it's like to do a talk show and talk to many, many, many different people over the years. And, I would be hard pressed if someone had a list of every guest I've ever had to read them and make me identify exactly who we're talking about, because I just, I don't remember everybody, Regis.
Yeah.
I mean, Jimmy.
That's funny.
Especially because he's dead. He's not even. Oh no, is Regis dead?
He did. He passed away. Yeah. That's a relief.
I feel bad. I mean, I feel good. I feel bad. I feel good that he was around for so long, and terrible that it had to end so quickly.
I had Regis and Joy and Don Rickles and his wife Barbara over my house for dinner one night. I cooked them dinner, and one of the things I love about old guys like that is nationality means so much in their characterization of you. Like Regis, look, he's Irish. He's he's drinking, he's drunk. He's it's fun. It's with Don, all he could think about is my mother's Italian. It's he's the kid's Italian. He's Italian because I think he thought I was Jewish at the outset and was kind of hoping I was Jewish, but then it became the mob and spaghetti and all meatballs and all that shit.
Nothing about you reads Jewish.
You say that? Really?
Yeah.
Most people think I'm Jewish, yeah.
Really?
My last name rhymes with a Jewish word, and
No.
And also when I dated Sarah, I feel like a lot of people presumed that I was Jewish.
I never presumed.
Thank you.
You just do not. You do not. I don't have Judar.
It was a joke, of course.
You do not set. If I had Judar, you would not set it off.
Is it the big crucifix on my hairy chest?
I feel like it's part and parcel to your amazing success. Really, 20 years is a long time in that piece of real estate. It's because, like Carson and like your, your arch enemy, Jay Leno, and David Letterman. There's something mid-American about you that appeals to the broad, not just the coast, although you obviously do well there too, but like you strike people as American, and it's not like there's the Larry Davids and people love those kind of comics, but yes, that's kind of like a Jewish sensibility they see there. I don't see it with you. Because you're not a Jew.
That's probably
it's not
why.
a giant mystery. And for America, that's good because Jews are like 2% of the population. It's very good to be able to do well also in Muncie and lots of other places, And I know you hate to be compared, but you and Jay, you both have your thumb well on the pulse of Middle America. You wouldn't have survived for that long in that spot if you didn't.
Right. I like that ice bucket, by the way. It reminds me like my parents had one like that when we were in the 70s, I remember it being, I still have mine right here.
Okay.
I remember being attracted to it in some way.
Attracted? That sounds sick.
You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
Like you're
attracted.
You know what I mean? No, but like one day.
You want to fuck my ice bucket?
One day I'm going to be a man who has an ice bucket.
Oh, yes, definitely. Well, the people I looked up to, like Manly, who I wanted to be a man, and if I was a man like these men, I'd be with lots of hot chicks, were Johnny Carson and James Bond.
Yeah.
They were the right age, and it's interesting, they weren't like young. They weren't old for sure. But
all the
they were
celebrities
like
were older then. Yeah.
40s. 40s is like the perfect age.
Yeah.
Like fully a man, although I was, I guess, I don't know. Like I said, looking back, I don't want to do it. But still like attractive, look good.
Yeah.
Dean Martin also, I must say, I could tell that my mother was hot for Dean Martin, like watching the 10 o'clock, the Thursday 10 o'clock show he had, comes out with the perfect tan, sideburns, the tuxedo and, just white teeth and it's like, oh yeah, I would love to. I said, well, I can't be Dean Martin. And I don't want to be Jerry Lewis. It's got to be something in the middle. Carson,
Who's your all-time favorite baseball player?
All-time favorite baseball player? Well, there will always be someone, a connection for someone my age who grew up in the New York market with Mickey Mantle.
Oh.
A
Yankee.
Yes, my father appeared at the head of my first grade classroom one morning. I was shocked because I'd never seen my father at the school. I didn't know what I thought, maybe that it was an emergency or a disaster. I was in trouble. But he was there to take me to my first baseball game. Like it was like...
And he didn't tell you? He just showed up and got you?
Showed up.
That's
like a fucking Marine back from Afghanistan.
Oh, that's great.
And, I remember I have a clear memory of him talking to the teacher, and he must have been saying, hey, I know I shouldn't be doing this. I know the school day's not out, but it's our one chance to go to a game, blah, blah, blah. And so there off I went.
Wow.
And, it's almost exactly the way Billy Crystal describes it often. But like in his show, it's a brilliant show, that 700 Sundays. But walking into Yankee Stadium, and before it had only been black and white on your television because your black and white TV showed the baseball games. And here it was, you walk out the tunnel and there's that giant expanse of verdant
I had that
heaven.
same experience because I had a little black and white TV. I watched all the Dodgers games growing up. And when my parents took us to Dodger Stadium, what really stood out to me was that the Dodgers numbers were bright red. Right. Which I never really noticed in the newspaper.
No, and it was just so big, and there they were. And so Mickey Mantle, when I was 7, I had a flannel uniform, like a Yankee pinstripe uniform with 7 that my mother sewed on the back.
Really?
And I wouldn't take it off all summer, and she was begging me to because it was hot and it was flannel, but it was Mickey Mantle. So I guess that's back in my memory somewhere. I mean, when I got more thoughtful about sports, I went right to Joe Pepitone. No, I don't know. Name some people. I mean, I like a lot of people, but they're basically
like Tom Seaver. Was that one of your?
Yeah, Tom Seaver was great. All the
because I know you like the Mets. I just didn't know. I didn't know it was.
Yeah,
I assumed it was
piece of them
from the
for
beginning.
a while. It was fun.
Yeah, right.
And now they're doing great.
I told you that story about the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Yes.
They offered me a piece of their franchise, and I didn't do it because I felt you told me it wasn't a great deal when you owned the Mets.
It was a great deal. I don't know.
was.
You must have been high.
You told me.
It was.
You told me that they never give you any tickets. You don't even have a parking space there. You always have to pay for tickets.
I would never have said that because that was not the case.
Must be
I
losing
had my own
mind.
parking space.
I mean, I made a major life decision based on this.
They were always great about that. I had my own parking space, and yes, you had to, like at the World Series. Yeah, there were some things, but I mean, I guess that was in the contract. Anyway, I went to the World Series. I had the greatest seats.
Right.
The Wilpons were super nice to me. I have no complaints about that. The problem was during the pandemic because we weren't playing baseball games. So they have these things called capital calls when you're an owner and you don't, the team losing a lot of money, you got to pony up. And so it was very scary to be running a baseball enterprise and not playing baseball.
Right.
And then when we did play, there was no one in the stands to buy hot dogs. That was a troubling time. I was worried about that way more than getting the fucking Andromeda strain. I was worried about that.
That's so crazy. Never think about that. You have a piece of a team that might not be. You might have to pay up.
Absolutely. Yes, and I did. Luckily, Mr. Steve Cohen came along the next year, and the Mets sold.
Yeah.
And it actually turned out to be a great thing. But there was some fucking nervous moments.
Yeah.
But
well, now I'm back. Now I think I made the right decision.
Yes, you know what?
But of course, the Golden Knights went to the Stanley Cup in their first season.
Is that right?
Yeah.
They're a professional team?
Yes, it's an NHL team. It's like unheard of.
I don't know. I know so little about hockey, and I'm so actively against it that I can't really judge that, because hockey, I don't know, and I don't even think it should be here. It's not really American. It's boring like soccer. It's a sport, sort of, just more like exercise. So I can't judge that.
Have you gone to a game live?
No, of course not.
It's different. It's more fun in person.
It's even more boring. But
no, it's not. It's not boring. You're right up at the glass if you get good seats, and just they're constantly smashing into the wall.
And all covered up. It's
you can really see them fighting.
I don't care. And I'll go to a fight if I want to see them fighting. But in general, of all the things that goes up in value, this is why I did this deal back in 2011, sports teams. People in this fucking country, you know better than anybody, love sports. And those investments never go down. Could they? Yes, in a small market, but not the New York baseball franchise. Mm-hmm. There's only one National League baseball franchise, and it's not going anywhere. It's like Mark Twain said about real estate. God made the earth, but he ain't making any more. And they ain't making any more National League baseball franchises. Yeah. So I don't know if that's anything like what this one is in hockey. Doesn't sound like it has quite the tradition.
No, but it's been hugely successful as far as attendance and fan excitement. It was a really big story. Like it hadn't happened in any professional sport since like the early '60s.
But if somebody offers you like something in a legacy team, and when I say legacy team, like if there's like a World Series, as there usually is, without the Mets in it, so I don't really care who wins. I always root for the team that's been around longest. Mm-hmm. I root for the team whose baseball cards I had when I was a kid. If it's the Detroit Tigers against the Marlins, fuck the Marlins.
Brewers in the American League.
Not even the Brewers. It was the Milwaukee Braves before they went to Atlanta.
When he went to Atlanta, wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Hank Aaron.
Yeah.
I also had a card that said Bob Clemente.
Really, Bob? Nice.
Because he couldn't say Roberto. Because that was, for that era, that was a little too ethnic. Bob Clemente. You have baseball cards?
I do. I have some baseball cards, but they're cards I collected when I was a kid.
You got to come over one day. And
I am over.
What am I, 10? Yes, apparently I am.
Baseball cards.
You got to come over one day, seriously. I'll go through my cards.
You got good ones, yeah.
Amazing. Like,
that's great.
Like the years, like 60, like maybe 3, 4, 5, something like that. When I was like 7, 8, 9. Very complete.
Did you flip cards when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
somewhat,
used to do that
and you put
too.
them in the spokes of your bike.
Yeah, yeah. I valued them too much to do that, but we'd flip them all the time. It was just nonstop gambling with the cards. I got a Mets team card once, and this kid,
team card.
Oh, the
checklist.
Mets team card was
Remember
fucking
the checklist
big.
card?
Oh, yeah. And the kid, this kid Mark, his parents owned the grocery store in Brooklyn, Milk and Stuff. And he was so upset that I got the Mets team card. He made them open all of the cards in the store. And they didn't get another Mets team card and wound up trading him the Mets team card for all of those cards. Hundreds of cards. It was like a scene out of Willy Wonka. It was like they're opening these packs, looking for this Mets team card.
Do they still have cards?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, cards are bigger than ever.
You know, I not only have baseball cards. Oh, Jimmy, when you come over here, we're going to have such a good day. Not only do I have baseball cards, I have other cards that were Beatle cards.
Wow.
Batman cards.
Yeah, I've
two
seen those.
kinds, one drawing, one photograph.
Really?
Yes, two editions. Martian cards. There was a movie, Jack Nicholson was in it. It was called something, Let's Go to Mars, or Mars Attacks. I think it was Tim Burton.
Tim Burton, right.
Mars Attacks. That was from a set of cards that I have.
Wow.
Still, as a kid.
Did you collect wacky packages?
What's that?
You know, wacky packs?
No, what's that? Wacky packs.
That was a big thing. Like they'd take like a product, like a tube of Crest toothpaste, and they change it to Crust, and Crust would be coming out of it. You know, like that kind of stuff.
I think I have those cards.
Yeah, I love those wacky pack cards.
I have Munster cards.
Really? Wow.
Or maybe it's Addams Family, one of those. Yeah.
And you remember buying them when you were a kid?
No.
Huh.
I don't remember. I don't know how I have them. The baseball cards I know how I have, because I did save my nickels and dimes to go buy cards, packages of, remember you get that stale gum?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And you would open it up and you're like, oh, who did I get?
A little bit of gum dust would come out. Yeah, and you'd see, and sometimes you get like some like shitty San Diego Padre. You'd be like, oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
The best ones from I don't know if they still did it, but there was like, okay, each guy, Bob Clemente and, you know, Raleigh Fingers, whoever it is. Then checklist card, worst. Team card, second worst. But best was like when they had 2 or 3 stars, sometimes from different teams, standing together with a special card. Buck Blasters, you know, and it was Clemente and Willie Stargell or something like that.
Yeah,
you know,
for like the American League and National League best first baseman. You know?
Yes,
like Rod Carew and Steve Garvey.
Right, it would be like Hank Aaron and Willie Mays together. You know, like
yeah. See, for us, the team cards were big, but only teams we liked. We didn't care about the expos.
Racist victim bashers.
Did you ever play in any of those celebrity softball games where you get to play with like those guys, like Gossage was one, and Winfield, these guys in one of these games?
Games? What kind
Like
of
a celebrity softball game. They'll do them at the All-Star.
I played in the, a couple of years, I was in something at Dodger Stadium. They sent over a uniform. You got in a Dodger uniform with the stirrups, the whole thing. It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I remember I went with Alan Thicke.
Wow.
And
It was a game?
I loved it, yes.
Yeah.
Tony Danza got me out with a little 10-cent curveball, grounded to third. I remember Jonathan Silverman,
Wow.
like, really hit it a long way.
Oh, really?
Like, very impressive.
Huh.
You have so many, like, of these big celebrity friends. What's that about? Like Jennifer Aniston and, like,
Well,
you
it's
know,
funny.
Howard Stern.
It's funny, I
Who'd
still
you
have...
just say some other motherfucker that you're friends with, some other...
I still have my best friends from high school.
Oh,
I do.
bring out the award.
But it's,
For a good guy.
It's not just.
But do
Why
they
am I
party,
being defensive about
But do they
this?
party with Jennifer Aniston?
Yeah.
No, you keep them separate.
That's actually not true.
Really?
Yep. Actually, specifically not true. In fact,
But would she
my
go out
friend
with
Jimmy
them?
Gentleman, who was in
Jimmy
town-
Gentleman?
Jimmy Gentleman's
Come
his
on,
name.
there's nobody named Jimmy.
Jimmy Gentleman, and there's actually two people named that, him and his dad's John Gentleman.
I
But
think of you as Jimmy Gentleman.
it's funny, my Uncle Vinny was like, thought it was a nickname. He's like, because you're like the jerk, and he's like the gentleman. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm not the jerk. Anyway, we knew that he's so polite he wouldn't come.
Who?
If Jimmy Gentleman to Jennifer Aniston's house if he knew that's where he's going. So we lied to him. We told him we're going back to our house and just drove there, and he was a nervous wreck the whole time.
Why? Because he felt he was not worthy to set footage in...
Yeah. Which is not true, and he loosened up after a while.
Right. I hope you slapped the snot out of him. He needs to be disabused of that notion.
Yeah, well, I think he was disabused.
Well, okay.
Yeah. No,
If you insist.
I'll let you talk to him.
I
agree with you.
I would like to interview Jimmy
I
Gentleman.
agree with you completely.
And try to convince him.
I
What do
lost
you
my
like?
lighter. You know,
Try to convince him that just because he is one of your Memphis Mafia, I assume that's why you keep him around, Jimmy. I assume he's like the Memphis Mafia. He is your gopher.
No, not at all. He lives in Las Vegas. He's got a wife and children. His kid just went to college.
And you make them work for you too? Is
No,
that what
nobody
it's
works.
like?
Nobody works for me.
I know, I'm fucking with you. I'm a comedian. Who are you?
You know, I've been smoking this, so I think it's a
see.
little.
Jesus Christ. And what are you drinking,
seriously.
wine?
I'm drinking wine, yeah.
Jesus, what are you,
Have you
Orson
ever had it?
Welles in 1985? With your beard and your wine?
Yes, I am.
Do you remember when Orson Welles was on the, shall we say, downslide when he was a fat old
doing those
legend?
commercials
a
for that.
fat old legend.
Shitty
and he'd always be
wine.
on like Merv Griffin, and he just made the rounds, and it was
Yeah.
like, you know, of course he's a legend, but that was the elephant in the room. It was like, okay, you haven't done anything in 30 years, but you're Orson Welles, and he would, I guess, regale them with raconteur-like tales of Hollywood. One time, Hayworth was twerking on my balls, and
Wouldn't you love to have a reel of him on talk shows? You know, from the 70s.
it would not be hard to find.
He's wearing a scarf.
Yes, exactly. A scarf, a cigar, always a prop cigar, and a big cloak because he was just big as a house by then. And of course, Lana Turner was always twerking on his nuts, which he referred to as the Magnificent Ambersons.
Is that true?
No, it's one of his movies.
What?
It's one of his famous movies, is The Magnificent Ambersons. It's actually, some people say, his best movie. I watched Citizen Kane recently, again. It's like one of those movies that you watch every 10 or 20 years because you think, maybe I missed it the first time. Why it was so great. It was like, maybe I missed it the second time. Why it's so great. No, it's not bad, but it's a little like the Mona Lisa. Very overrated. Like it just sort of got to this place in the public consciousness, and no one ever accused them of being geniuses. So like, they just made it. They just anointed this thing to be like the greatest picture, the greatest movie, and it's neither close to the greatest. It's an interesting movie. I like it, but enough. It's just not what they say it was. However, Gone with the Wind, as overstuffed as it is still.
Casablanca is a good one.
Oh yes, Casablanca.
Really,
I talked about this, I think, with Quentin Tarantino here. It doesn't make sense because the whole thing hinges on the idea that there are these letters of transit, which can get you out of Nazi-occupied Morocco. And if you have the letters of transit, the Nazis will never touch you. And that is not really how I see the Nazis.
You don't think a letter of transit would...
That's just
right.
me. No, I don't know if that may be true.
Letters of transit.
So do you like have movie nights at your house where you watch, like, I'm sure a giant mogul, even though you have your high school friends still, like you, gets like the big movies that are out, so they want you to see it, so you'll promote it. And
I get a link to those. I watch them on TV at my house. And
watch them from where? Where are you
typically alone.
Where are you when you're watching?
In the living room.
In the living room.
I have a 100-inch TV that's about 13 years old and starting to show it.
100 inches.
It's a huge TV.
I'll take out just enough to beat you. But okay, so you're watching in the living room. You watch it with Molly?
Yeah, usually.
Okay.
Hopefully.
So like this.
Often not.
And then you talk about it after, like your assessment of it, or like this is something.
You want to know really how I do it?
Honestly.
And I wonder if you do this too. I will, if the producers tell me it's good, I'll watch it. If they don't, I won't, because I don't want to have to give any commentary that isn't positive. And I think it's better to just be honest, and I haven't seen it yet.
Exactly the conclusion I came to. Yes.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't come up as much for me because I'm not on 5 nights a week like you are, and mine is not a...
And you're not plugging their
mostly,
product.
sometimes. Yeah. But, I mean, Rod Stewart was on a couple of weeks ago. I like Rod Stewart. I've listened to him forever. He's Rod Stewart. He's great. It's not a problem.
He's one of those Dean Martin type guys, Rod Stewart.
Oh.
That level.
I think he was more... Dean Martin was mostly a myth. He was not really a drunk or a womanizer. Rod Stewart really...
He was a golfer.
Yeah. He was a golfer, yes. He's a strange guy. He drank himself to death at the old... remember the place that was Hamburger Hamlet? It was on the corner.
Really?
Yeah, it's now some other trendy thing, but it was the
I remember that place.
Corner of right where Sunset goes into Beverly Hills. Sunset kind of branches there, Doheny, a little past Doheny. Okay, Hamburger Hamlet. And he just sat in the back. He had his booth his last few years and kind of like drank himself to death. I mean, that's what they said, alone at Hamburger Hamlet. And like, why? I know he lost his son early. I mean, it's horrible when any parent to face a child that predeceases you. It's got to be rough.
Yeah.
But still, come on, Dino. I don't understand why people. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I never had kids.
And do you? Yeah. Well, it's I think about this sometimes, that some of these older guys like Rickles, like they just get such a kick out of the fact that younger guys like us are interested in them, and that they're still relevant.
Mel Brooks is still around, and you can express that to him.
And
I have.
And I have too. And don't you? I think that is one of the things that makes us very lucky, because I think that when we're in that position, there'll be a handful of people at least who are interested in our lives and whatever. And a lot of old people don't have that.
Right.
And I think that's always nice, and I think I could see how important it was to Don and to some of these guys.
But every perspective you have must be different than mine because you have 4 kids.
Maybe not every, but
really,
I mean, I'm sure not every, because I think I largely agree with your perspective. But
Yeah, but that doesn't. But
you mean my daily?
well, I mean, even, I don't know, anything like climate. You know, you're got to be thinking about. I mean, I'm only thinking about what the world's going to be like. Sadly, for the next 20 years. You know, to be real. But
I mean,
but
I
like,
love that. Like,
you've got to be thinking about what the world's going to be like for the next 80 because the kid is 10.
sure, and then they're gonna have kids. Yeah, and yeah, I do. Sure, I do. But you know, Norman Lear does too, and he's 99 years old.
Is he really?
Yeah, he'll be 100 in July.
What does he think about?
Climate change.
Oh, climate change,
You
right.
know, he's, you know, I
Right.
think that.
Right. Well, you have to have that attitude. You can't, once you feel like you're dead already, you're dead already. You have to feel like, yeah, it's all about tomorrow. I never look back. I mean, of course, you think
You don't
about
really.
Well,
Do you waste water?
Why?
I don't know.
Because I'm going to fuck up the future for your kids?
No, I'm just asking if you waste water.
I try not to. I don't do it on purpose.
Right. Well, you didn't do it on purpose. But you won't leave the shower like going for 15 minutes.
Absolutely not.
Right.
No.
No,
I don't do anything that
So
would
I think
waste
you
water.
have an overall.
But even if I did, it wouldn't make any difference. I mean, I'm one of, you know,
Yeah, but it makes a
300
difference when like-minded people start doing those things, you know. And I think also for
Well-
people who do that stuff, it's good to hear that other people will do it.
People are not going, I don't think we're ever going to get people to do enough to affect on a individual basis of voluntarism
Yeah.
to affect climate change. I just don't think you will. People want to live a baller lifestyle. They want to, all of them want to take a private jet.
But if
The only people who don't take private jets are the people who can't afford a private jet. They all want to. If they could, they would. If a private jet was cheap, the skies would be filled with private jets, which are the worst thing for the environment.
Right.
They're not serious about it, and that's okay. And there's countries like China and India where the people have been denied for all these years because of poverty, refrigeration sometimes even, certainly cars, and now they're getting them, and their view is, oh, we should give it up now,
Right.
now that you already enjoyed it, you rich white people, and now we're getting it, so that's not going to sell. That's not the way we get out of this, if we get out of it, which I don't think we will. Have a good night, Jimmy.
Well,
Say hi to your kids for me.
I'm just being devil's advocate because I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I hope that we make the connection with these things to our children. We actually make that connection where we go like, oh, if I waste all this water, my children are not going to have water to drink, and their children are not going to have water to drink.
Yeah,
I mean, we should care about our
we should.
actual children.
Well,
If we don't care about the children of the world, at least our own children we should care about.
okay, but if shoulds and buts were beer and nuts, we'd have a hell of a party.
Yeah.
We should do a lot of things, and we're just not. Again, it's not my fight even, because, like, I think the planet will be somewhat here when it's ready to get rid of me.
Well, the planet will be here, yeah.
Right.
The planet's going to be fine.
Yeah.
People on it are fucked.
Yes, but I'm saying I think there'll be some way to survive. 100 years from now, 50 years from now, I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, I always think things that are depicted in movies as the future always come true, because they do. And the thing they depict a lot in movies in the future is an apocalyptic wasteland brought about by either nuclear war or environmental devastation.
Well, your original point I'm interested in is that you say that these movies, the things they put in the movies, eventually come true.
Right.
But, I mean, that's certainly not the case with everything. I mean...
Jimmy, remember when we didn't used to have flying cars?
Yeah.
The flip phone that Captain Kirk had, we totally have.
I mean, how about like the Jetsons had those food pills that were like your whole dinner, you know?
Some people do eat like a lot of. I mean, Ray Kurzweil like has 300 pills a day. Remember Minority Report?
Yeah.
With Mr. Tom Cruise?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Probably one of your friends.
Emily Blunt and Tom Cruise.
Emily Blunt, yes. He was like moving things on a screen with his hands. I remember watching that and going, whoa, look at that. It was completely futuristic. And within 2 years, we were all doing it. And then 7 years later or whatever it was every
Yeah, but
phone.
they found out from the company that they were going to be doing it, so they put it in.
Well, I'm just saying they imagined it on the screen, and then it became a reality.
Right.
And I worry that will happen with the apocalypse. I mean, there's just a lot of these movies.
But do you think Star Trek will happen, like where we'll have ships and we'll be shooting around all over the place?
Not if we do the other one first, where we wipe out civilization. Because, I mean, think of all those kind of movies. The, Mad Max, and the Barren Wasteland is one where Matthew McConaughey has to go discover another planet because nothing grows anymore. I mean, I could see us.
No, I think we like to see those things in the same way, like that we find entertainment in seeing murders. Like we know, like eventually, like our lives are going to end, and for some reason, like a murder mystery, like is very exciting to us, entertaining.
Yeah, but a murder mystery, yes, can be entertaining because we're not the ones.
Or even just this
we're not the ones getting murdered.
The Terminator, where people are just getting
blown
away.
In this scenario, we're all getting murdered. If nothing grows. I mean, that's the premise of that movie where, and I'm a fan of Matthew McConaughey, but like, come on, a scientist? He just doesn't read scientist. Like, the scientist is going to figure this shit out. I would not pick
the world's most handsome scientist.
I'm not saying he's a bright guy, but I'm just saying he's not that guy. Okay, but he's got to like find something through the wormhole or something, and it's just a bad plan. But the idea that things don't grow anymore, that could happen. I mean, it certainly has happened in many areas of the Earth. What if it happened all over the Earth?
You think photosynthesis might come to an end?
Well, I think you can burn out, you can make things too hot for anything to grow, yes.
But you can, now hydroponically, you can grow things with very tiny amounts of water.
Yeah, so you're saying we grow all the crops in your mom's basement?
Yeah, basically.
I don't know. Whenever I fly over the country, it looks like a lot of the country is farmland. It would be hard to get that inside. That's what I'm saying. It would be hard to get that inside.
Yeah, they do. You'd be surprised.
The whole country between the Hudson River and San Bernardino? No.
I think they should turn every cemetery into farmland. Like why not have crops?
Cemeteries are a waste. That's true.
Yeah.
But people are squeamish about their dead relatives.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta.
I feel like my dead relatives would like a potato or a tomato vine on their on their crypt.
It's more natural. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's one thing. It's very hard. I would not want to. If I'm going to pick my battles, pick that one. Like convincing people what to do with their dead relative.
Right.
I feel like they got their feelings about it. Right. It's very personal and emotional and not logical, and that's okay. I got to give them that.
What a job to pick, though, if you think about it.
What?
A job where all day, every day, for weeks and months and years, your job is to console the relatives of dead people.
Oh, you're talking about like a funeral director?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right. There are jobs. I mean, obviously, proctologist is another one where you have to wonder, with all the panoply of professions available, gynecologist, I could see that's like a goof idea you had in high school. I got to look at pussies all day, and then you kind of just stayed with it. But the asshole one, I don't see that one.
I think they get paid a little more.
Oh, well, maybe then what?
Than other specialties.
All other specialties? You mean there's a special?
I think there are. I don't know.
That they have to throw in.
But I do feel like I've looked this up.
It would. I wouldn't even want to look this up because then what would come to me from people who thought this was my area of interest? Like if I was like,
I got to tell you, for my father, it's definitely his area of interest. I mean,
Assholes?
all we talk about is his bowel movements and his farting and.
Why? Because he's infirm?
No, not at all. He just
Oh.
is proud of his bowel movements and wants to tell me about them. Like sometimes he'll walk right in the door and immediately start telling me about a shit he took the day before. It happens all the time. He sometimes takes pictures of them and sends them to me.
Oh, come on.
And I'm saving a file of them for his funeral. I'm going to do a slideshow for the family.
Is this because your father has a good sense of humor and this is a joke?
A little bit.
He knows you're laughing at this.
Yeah, but he also loves it. It's like people singing karaoke, like, you know, like they're goofing around, whatever, but they fucking love being on stage. My dad loves.
But it sounds like you have a kind of a buddy relationship with your father.
I do, but he also will do this with anyone.
See, I never had that with
like
mine.
my sister-in-law. He'll tell her about his his shits.
He sounds very laid back, your father. Not like
He is pretty laid
okay.
back.
My father was much more uptight than that. Great guy, but like that would not have happened between us.
My dad looks just like Wolf Blitzer, like almost exactly, and is.
Now he's still. Your mother.
My parents are both alive. Yeah,
still together.
Still together. Yeah.
Wow. How many years have they been together?
They just last weekend celebrated their 56th anniversary.
Come fucking on.
Yeah.
56 years.
Yeah.
That's. And are they looking around?
Well, my mother is on an app.
Wow. I can't even. I just can't imagine. That's.
Yeah, they got married. My mom was 20 years old. They got married.
Wow.
It's crazy.
And what's their relationship like? Perfect? Because they've been through.
No, it's not perfect, but it's
big.
never big. There's never any big anything. It's just a series of little.
Well, I feel like marriage is, from what, of course, not speaking from personal knowledge, but from what I've seen and my parents, I feel like it's good in the beginning, and then it's a difficult period for like 50 years, which, where you're still like sort of, subliminally resentful someone of the other because someone's not getting enough sex, and sex is an issue, and it's a hard thing to manage a good sex life after you've been with someone for a while, blah, blah, blah. And then you get to a point where you're past that. I feel like I remember that in my own parents' marriage, when they got, and suddenly it's like you've traveled together. I mean, it's like you have this great golden years memory of your wonderful life together and all you built together and all those memories, and you don't have this monkey on your back about, and we should be fucking.
Right.
And that becomes like the second great period of a marriage. I think this is the way it is. It's just that little middle 50 years.
It's just that 50 years in the middle.
Other than that, it works like a charm. Yeah, it's just that. I call it an interregnum. But, oh, Jimmy.
Yeah.
So, all right, I got to go back to my job.
All right. Oh, yeah, you got work
really
to do.
appreciate you putting up with
That was fun.
was it?
It was a lot of fun.
I loved it, but
it was a lot of fun.
I don't know if you were just putting on an act for me. But I hope
No, I
hope you
enjoyed it. I had a
loved
good
it
time.
because I adore you. You're just such a great guy. Ever since you gave me that box of porn when we changed over jobs, you could have been a dick about it, and it's just never in your nature. People, you've done so well partly because when you're on TV that much for that long, the old cliche, you can't hide. You can't hide who you are, and people just like you, and they're right.
Well,
and they're right.
Nice to say that.
It's
Thank
true.
you. I've told you the story of one of the great shows I ever saw was you and Seinfeld at Arizona State University when I was in college, and you were great. You were just so great. I remember. I remember
the same show.
I remember jokes from it. I remember.
We were both doing stand-up on the same show.
Yeah, you guys were doing a big college tour. Wow. It was you and Jerry and I'm forgetting a third guy, but it was just so great. And
Wow.
I remember thinking, Bill Maher was the funniest one.
No,
I did.
I'm
yeah.
sure I wasn't, but Jerry was.
You were
on
talking
the
about
show.
poppers and goofers and your father.
Really?
And,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
It's
guess
great.
this was like late 80s.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
God.
exactly right.
Before Seinfeld.
It's like 1988,
Yeah, because he was
87, 88.
Yeah, because obviously he wouldn't have been doing that. And then I got politically incorrect in '93.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, where did it go?
Yeah.
It's so funny, you know, like my actual life better now than back then, for sure, in so many ways. It's just that little, but I'll be dead soon thing.
Yeah. Boy,
Or sooner.
I
You know,
relate to that with every fiber of my being.
Yeah,
I relate
it's
to
that little fly in the ointment. If they could just work on that.
But
Just
every once in a while, you
forget
have
COVID.
that
Work
little
on it.
little glimpse, that little flash of like
Yeah.
being on a trip to California with your friends and like driving around and what that felt like and how.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's just got to be. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
No. I remember my first time out in California so vividly. You know, the palm trees, like, I'd never seen that. And just, it's sort of like everything you'd seen on TV, because it's all over every TV show. The way the way the street signs looked. I remember that so much. Like, I had seen it so many times. Those blue LA street signs, which we don't have back east. They're not blue, the street signs. And then you would see it. I had a gig once in La Jolla. I was my first year out here, and I never found the gig. I found La Jolla.
That's good.
But I never found a street called La Jolla.
That could be a contender for your book title, the Gazpacho book.
Gotta go back to my real job. You know, I really do this. I really go right back to working on real time.
I am going to too.
All right, now we
do
can
my homework.
Now we can hug.
Thank you. That was fun. This is what we want when we're kids, a clubhouse.
Right.
You know?
Clubhouse, that word I will accept, not man cave.
Clubhouse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very clubby.
Yeah.
It's more of a disco when the music is on.
Yeah.